Yeah, I'm super excited. What? And yeah, we are live, I think. Let me check the TV to see if we are live. We should be
We're
live.
on the internet. I'm on TV.
We're on TV. We're like celebrities.
Hi,
At
Mom.
this point.
I'd
Hi,
like
Mom.
to thank the Academy.
Definitely the Academy.
Yes.
The Academy of Computer Science.
I was told there would be awards. I'm not receiving an Academy Award for this performance?
Maybe later, Jonan. Maybe later.
I've been doing a good job so far. I feel like I earned it.
With the $10,000 equipment.
Yeah, it's
I'm
very
sure.
expensive equipment. And to be fair, the stuff that I'm actually using is much less than that. But there's a lot of exchanging going on between me and Amazon. They get a lot of returns from me.
Nice. Okay, yeah. So, hi everyone. Welcome to our stream. I think we're just gonna wait until a couple more people trickle in. But hi, Mom. I know you're watching. I'm pretty sure she's watching.
Nice.
So hi. But yeah,
Hi, Daniel's mom.
Hi from Korea. Hey, Bo. That's my friend Bo. He's in Bit Project. Hey Bo. Yeah. So to introduce myself, I'm Daniel. Oh my gosh, that emoji though. Okay. My name is Daniel. I am a developer advocate at forestry.io, a headless CMS startup based out of Canada. And I'm also, by night, like a superhero, the president and founder of Bit Project. And who are you, Jonan?
I'm Jonan. I go by the Jonan Show on the internet, and I work at a company called New Relic on the developer relations team. And we'll probably hear more about that shortly. But I sometimes talk on stages and on the internet about programming things.
That's
How'd
awesome.
I do? Is that a good summary?
I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, like, where are you based, Jonan?
I'm based in Portland. I have been writing software for about 10 years, before which I was a poker dealer and a poker player and a car salesman and a concierge, and the list goes on and on and on. I did a lot of things that were not software. Now I do software. None of them were as good. I like software.
I know. Thank you, Shreya. I am very cool.
Because Shreya likes my cat shirt. Yay, Space Cat.
Yeah. So, Jonan, like, can you tell us like a little bit about your journey into tech? Like, what got you into high technology things? Like
high
coding?
tech, yeah. I entered the information superhighway as a computer programmer long before that was such a thing. Actually, I started programming when my uncle gifted our family an Apple IIe, and I was in middle school, I think. Actually, I did a little bit of BASIC before then, but I really kind of got into it in middle school. And there was no internet and there were no books. I didn't own the manual to the thing. I didn't know how to write code at all, but I did know a friend at school, Brennan, shout out to Brennan. And we would go and chat on recess about commands that we knew in BASIC. And then I would go home and type them in. And I learned BASIC through a complicated game of telephone between me and Brennan's father. And I remember distinctly because I once asked Brennan, I was like, hey, I don't know how to save a file. How do I save a file? Brennan went and asked his father, and his father said, you just save it. And that was the advice I got back through the telephone that I never actually implemented. So I was incapable of saving programs or learning more. I didn't know anyone who wrote software. So that was kind of my intro. And then many times over the years, I played with computers. I was always the computer person. My parents would come to me and be like, it's broken. And then I would search on the internet for it on Alta Vista and then on Google and find the answer and then just implement the answer, which is, software engineering in a nutshell. So I did that for a long time. I went and studied Java at university, and then I gave up on programming because it was Java and it was early and life was really bad back around 2000 for a lot of programmers. And I didn't want to join that party. And then I wandered the earth doing weird jobs, and now I'm here.
That is super cool. And as someone who's new to the industry, it's really cool to see like folks like you who have non-traditional paths to a tech career, because I feel like it's really important to advertise the fact that techies are not just for super smart people who've gone to Ivy Leagues, like.
This is very, very true. I have pitched this dream over and over again to everyone I meet. I ran into a friend at a Ruby conference a couple of years ago who I had met on a train 2 years before that, and said he was a barista at the time. And I was like, what you should do is software. This stuff is really taking off. I feel like the computer things, they're going to catch on. And now he's a programmer, and ran into me in a hallway and was like, hey, thanks for the advice. Went to a code school, and now I'm a programmer. It's a good career. It's accessible to everyone. People look at it and think they need to be a math genius, among other things. And I want to make it very clear that mostly what I do is change the color of buttons on web pages. And even that much I do quite badly. So don't worry about it. You're welcome here. Come on in.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I'm super excited to introduce the topic of today's stream, which is all about learning about a software called Gatsby. So Gatsby is a really, really cool way to build websites that are super fast. And you use JavaScript to build these websites. And yeah, so me and Jonan are going to be learning how to build things with Gatsby together today. And this is going to be like a 4-part stream. So this is going to be like part 1 out of like 4 different live streams where we're going to actually build a website for a bakery that I'm setting up called Daniel's Quarantine Bakery, because as we all know, it's the quarantine and Daniel has nothing better to do than make 50 different sourdoughs that taste equally as terrible. So yeah, we got to share this with the world. So this is why we're building a website in Gatsby. So yeah, super excited. So Jonan, have you built anything with Gatsby before?
I have been out of JavaScript for a long time. I played with JavaScript early in my career when I first got to university. So like 1999, 98. And then I, picked it up again much, much later, maybe 8 years ago. And it moves very quickly. At the time we were using ES6 features, but we had to compile through several layers of nonsense that, to be honest, I did not quite understand to get to anything that resembled what exists today. In short, no, I feel as though I have never used JavaScript. Despite having some experience with it over the years, it has changed very quickly. So I'm excited to learn how to do this thing. I made a Gatsby site one time, and then I immediately deleted it. So you have a lot to teach me.
No, that sounds really fun. And this is a live stream where like even professionals don't know everything. So, this is great that you can learn live with us. So other students watching this can be like, Jonan has 11 years of experience and he still had the same question as me. So
I have all the questions. And if anyone tells you that they are an expert in a thing, they're trying to fool you. It's only a way for them to feel smart and not for you to feel smart. Then they're probably lying to be impressive. Really, no one ever gets better at this. You find different problems over the years. You learn to memorize some of the error messages, but that's about it. We all Google all the time.
Yes, Stack Overflow is your best friend. I think I have a t-shirt or a sticker that says that somewhere. But anyways, so to get started, I think Jonan, if you could share your screen, that would be great.
Let's see. Am I not sharing my...
Oh, you are. Sorry. I am just bad at streaming.
We did it. We did an internet. All right.
Oh, great. So if you could get started so the first thing we need to do, I'm going to drop the link in the chat, is install something called a CLI. That's a pop quiz question. What does CLI stand for? I'll give you... Oh, CLI. No. What is CLI?
I don't know. But I want you should tell the stream. I think the people need to know. Give the people what they want, Daniel.
So CLI stands for Command Line Interface. So it's really easy for you to get started with Gatsby because all the command line things that you need to know will be made. Oh, the people. Sorry, I'm like very bad at multitasking of reading chats as well as speaking. So in my future, when I'm a professional Twitch streamer doing professional streams, I'll be better at this. But anyways, so a CLI basically allows you to interact with your Gatsby site really easily because the team at Gatsby has built out this amazing software where everything you need to do with the Gatsby site is their like easy commands. You don't need to type anything fancy. So today, when we're creating like our Gatsby site from a starter or like developing it or publishing it or building it, all those things will be pre-built into the CLI. So that's why the first thing that we're going to do to get started is install the Gatsby CLI. So Jonan, if you don't mind, would you mind opening the terminal in VS Code?
And I would love to do that. I was just thinking what I should probably do is open the terminal. That will eventually become clear to me how to do that because I use Vim instead of VS Code. But I figured it out because there's there's a drop-down menu. For those watching at home who can't see the drop-down menu because it's off screen, it's one of the menu items. It says terminal right on it, and you click new terminal. And I have a terminal.
Woo!
Bam. Look at me.
Great.
Oh, my little prompt
Looks
is all messed
great.
up. I have a cool looking prompt font, but it's a patched font and it's not here.
Oh, that sucks.
That's all right. I'll get
So,
over it.
yeah. So the first thing you need to type in is npm space install. Wait, I'll just type it into the chat. I feel like the people don't want to hear me spout random code.
npm install -g.
Mm-hmm.
The G stands for global. This means I'm installing a package globally on my computer that I can install anywhere instead of locally where I'd be installing it just into the application that I'm building in that moment. Is that true, Daniel? Did I state that succinctly?
That was pretty succinct, in my opinion.
I'm a
That
computer
was pretty
expert. It comes very naturally to me.
That comes after 11 years of experience, y'all.
11
That's
years. It just took me 11
11
years.
years. Exactly. What is npm? npm, that's a great question, Shreya. So npm is a package manager. So let's say I want to use Jonan's code, right? And I'm a lazy person. Like if Jonan puts his code on npm, all I have to do is do what I just did, is just install it using the command. But if Jonan did not put it on npm, then I would have to email him and be like, Jonan, give me your stuff. And like he would have to email it to me. I'd have to install it manually. So it's an automatic way to install other people's code into your own directory so you can use it.
And
That's
it's
like
really obnoxious. The trading back and forth thing, it's a thing that people, I think, still do. But you end up with like, literally, here's a zip file with the code in it. And now here's the zip file with code too. The things like Git and other ways to keep track of changes to stuff, they made developers' lives a lot better in general. And so when you're using like Google Docs and you're looking at a version, you can look at the history in a Google Doc. Just think of it like that. It's just a tool to do that same thing.
Exactly. That was pretty succinct. And then the next thing we're going to do is using the Gatsby CLI, we're going to create our new site. So the CLI will just create all the configuration things for us. So we don't have to do any of that. So I'm literally following the tutorial that I posted earlier, a quick start of using the Gatsby CLI. So this would be great. But instead of naming it Gatsby site, I'm going to name it Jonan's Bakery. So yeah, good copy of me. Hi, Steven.
Hi, Steven. Hey, I'm new here. Welcome aboard.
What are we making with Gatsby? Today we're gonna make a very basic site for a bakery. So it's a 4-part series where we build like this amazing site where Daniel gets to share his shitty sourdough starters.
Is caca sourdough starters. We are trying to avoid getting an adult flag for Daniel's stream. And I will remind you, I should have a button where I can beep you, bleep out your filthy language. Daniel, your mother is watching this stream right now.
My mom curses too. Okay.
Did you say your mother's watching from Korea?
Yeah.
안녕하세요.
Korean. Oh yeah. Don't you speak like Japanese like fluently?
I speak Japanese. I don't speak Korean fluently, but I can say 안녕하세요 and 감사합니다.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, right. You can make friends in most places if you can say those two things. That was hello and thank you in Korean, I believe. Or it was rather a large white man from Oregon's impression of those words.
Nice. So did we do the command?
I'm doing the generation. Yeah, I installed it. I'm generating the site now, right? That was the goal?
Yeah. So all you have to do is copy that command.
Okay, new Gatsby site, and then I come off the starter. Do I have to name my app right now? Do I have to give it like Joan and cool?
No. So Gatsby site is the name. So if you want to change it, you have to like change it to Joan's Bakery. Exactly.
This is actually what's the name of your new business? Your startup, Daniel's
Quarantine Bakery, but that's
Bakery.
But that's too long. We got to make it Jonan's Bakery.
All right.
Steven, Gatsby is built on top of React. That is correct.
I would name my startup Jonan Loaf.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Because that's like our special promo bread. If you come in and you'd like, you know that you want a Jonan Loaf, it's like the secret order at In-N-Out when you want like animal style. I'm here for the Jonan Loaf, and you just get like an 18-pound wad of bread. Good.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Especially if it's sourdough. I love sourdough.
I'm so bad at
Gatsby,
making bread.
Steven wants to know if Gatsby is using React. That is a better question for Daniel. I think so.
It is.
I'm guessing
It's
yes.
built on top of Gatsby. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Gatsby's built on top of React.
Right. So React, for the uninitiated, I will explain like I'm 5 because I am, and I don't really know what I'm talking about. Gatsby is a framework for making web pages, specifically static web pages. Once you put them out there, they just kind of stay how they are. They're
Oh
just
shoot!
HTML
I
you
forgot
make.
to talk about it. Oh my gosh.
And then React is the thing underneath it where you have here's a JavaScript, the language that works in any browser anywhere. You can just write your JavaScript. React is a way to use JavaScript to kind of work with HTML on the page. And then Gatsby uses both React and JavaScript to make HTML pages. And you use CSS and some JavaScript as well, but they're just static pages. We call them static because they don't change in a dynamic way. Although Gatsby has some ways that you can add dynamic things to them. So think of like when you log into Facebook and your name is in the corner, it's different when I go to my Facebook, the name is different, right? That's dynamic content, things that change. If you were going to build like a documentation website or a web page that just said, hello world, I made a Gatsby page, that would be static if it never changed. But if you want things to talk to some other service and make the page content change, then you need to use dynamic parts of Gatsby. But that was a maybe over explanation of what Gatsby is. Gatsby, underneath Gatsby, React, underneath React, JavaScript.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. So just to add on to that, Gatsby is a JavaScript framework that was designed for websites to get super fast, because normally like how most websites work that are not static is that basically once you like type in, for example, www.danielkimsbakery.org, it will actually like query the server, and the server has to talk to the database and all these different sources to actually put together that website for you specifically. So that's why it took forever. So once you go to those pages that takes like 5 seconds to load, you know why. It's because it is trying to build it at the same time serving it to you, which takes forever. So what Gatsby does is it does all of the so what type of components would be changing? It was dynamic. So basically, the components themselves do not change. What changes is the data source. So what Gatsby does is it pulls in different like sources of information through third-party APIs. So the components don't change. It's hydrated by different types of data. So that's why it's dynamic. Does that make sense?
Like if I was looking at Twitter
Mm-hmm.
and the tweets are showing up in real time, well, the tweets are coming from somewhere. They're coming from someone else's browser where they're plugging in data. That data on my Twitter page, I put the data in the form, I submit the form, it goes in the background to a server somewhere, to another computer where it's stored in the database. And then some process on that server says, oh, hey, we found a new tweet. We should send it out to all the browsers in the world. And it sends it out to all the browsers in the world that are subscribed to my feed or following me on Twitter. And then it shows up in your feed because some JavaScript that's running on your page is checking for content from the server. It says, hey, is there anything new? Is there anything new? Anything new? And then one time it gets new tweet and it pulls it from the server and puts it on your page. And that is the dynamic thing that we're talking about. So the stuff that changes dynamically in this case is the HTML and the CSS and really anything you want on the page. You can even dynamically change the JavaScript that's running on the page. But that's what we mean when we talk about dynamic content, is that a static website, once the page is loaded, nothing changes. No more talking to the server. Just boom, you're done. Here's what you get. If it's dynamic, parts of the page can change and move while it's open.
Yeah, so I think Steven asked a follow-up about like if you want to make a dynamic site from an API, what would you use? So yeah, so today, if we have time, we're going to get to it. If not, it's going to be the next stream. So basically what you do is that Gatsby uses something called GraphQL to source their data. So like an example of what you could do is that you could use something called a headless CMS. So these are services like Contentful or a Strappy. There's like 25 dozen of them. I work for a company that makes one. It's called Forestry. And basically if you change the data in that other service, you can actually have it connected to your front-end code in Gatsby. So it's always synced up. So it's dynamic because you can change the content on your website through another service that plugs in through an API.
A CMS in this case.
CMS, yeah.
What is a CMS? I'm asking what it means.
Oh,
CMS stands for Content Management System.
Yeah. So GraphQL is would I call it a query language?
It's kind of a query language. Yeah, the QL stands for query language, and SQL is for querying databases, and PHP is another different way to make websites like JavaScript, and GraphQL is a way to query a server in a systematic way. So normally when you talk to an API, you just make a normal web request to go talk to the server, and you like just as you did with your browser when you loaded the web page. But when you do it with GraphQL, there's a structure to it. There's a plan ahead of time. People who sat down and said, this is how we do GraphQL. So if I ask you 1, then you say 1. And if I ask you 2, then you say 2, or whatever the server interaction is, right? There's a definition of what GraphQL is. It defines how I can talk to the server and get the data I need, so that any website that wants to get a user can use GraphQL to ask how to get a user. And that GraphQL, the GraphQL code to get a user, is the same for any other website that wants to get a user.
Exactly. So GraphQL, I wouldn't call it I wouldn't compare it to SQL or PHP.
Right.
I would compare it more as like a communication protocol between databases and like wherever you want to put your data. So for example, I can use. Oh, no, it's fine.
No. Steven, this is why we exist on Earth. Both of us are teachers by design. We came on this not to build Daniel's website, or in this case, Jonan Loaf. It's not a real startup. I know that's shocking for all of you listeners out there, but Jonan Loaf is probably not going to succeed. What we are here to do is to teach. So absolutely ask questions. It makes it more interesting.
Yeah, so GraphQL is really helpful. Wait, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Well, GraphQL is really helpful if you want to get something out really quickly, because you don't have to define you don't have to really define let me rephrase this. So basically the way GraphQL works and why it's different than I think its competitor or its alternative, which is REST APIs, is that GraphQL is dynamic because you only have to make one call to get all the information. So let's say I want to know Jonan's age, phone number, address, and his favorite fruit. If it was a REST API, you'd have to make 4 different calls to get that information. But if it was a GraphQL server, I'll have to be get me all that information and it will fetch it for me all at once. That's the main difference of GraphQL and REST APIs.
And that's why Facebook invented it. If you think about it, I think it's helpful to know that when you store things as a database in software, or in a database in software, you model them beforehand. So this is what a user looks like. A user has a name and an email. And this is what a snack looks like, watermelon, right? And so if Jonan, the user, really likes watermelon, then we have a link between the two of them. So if I wanted to go and list all of Jonan's favorite snacks on jonanloaf.com, then I would go say, all right, get Jonan, the user, and get me all of Jonan's favorite snacks. Right? It's this 2 requests that doubles the time that I have to go talk to the server. And so Facebook obviously has a problem with that because they've got to get me and Daniel and all of the friends in a graph shape, right? It's a graph because everyone's all tied together in all of these complicated relationships, and they want to get this part of the graph and this part of the graph and this part of the graph. It turns into many different web requests, each of which takes a long time to go back and forth between the browser and the computer, the server on the back end. So what they did is they made this thing called GraphQL, where you can just kind of pick and choose. It's like a buffet style API where I can say, I want that thing and this thing and a little of that and some salt. And you get all of the pieces you wanted and none of the ones you didn't. So it's fast because the amount of data you retrieve is smaller. It's just what you asked for. And it happens in a single go. So GraphQL significantly sped up the way that you can interact with servers.
Bo, I love you. That's a great answer to the question. Bo is, by the way, a 16-year-old kid from Massachusetts, and he's a coding ninja. It's insane. Bo is amazing. But yeah, REST APIs, just to reiterate, is basically a way that computers talk to other computers. And it's this rule that kind of defines how these communications should go. So basically, it says that if you go to a certain URL, it should return some information. That's the very, very basic of how REST API works. But you could also delete the information. We can edit the information. That's what you do with a REST API. But yeah.
That's good. I like it. When I'm adding snacks to my webpage and I create a new snack and I change the name of my snack, all of that is changing the watermelon record that's in the database down there. Somewhere in the magic spreadsheet that is the database, I'm going to the watermelon record in the row, and I'm changing the title of it to beans or whatever the other snack name is.
Definitely. Yeah, so just to get back on track, because we need to build some sort of semblance of a
We're already like
website.
halfway there, Daniel. Come on, we're killing it.
Not gonna lie, we're doing very good today. So the first thing that we're going to do is run the program because we need to see where it's at right now. So the command in Gatsby to figure out what it looks like right now is called Gatsby develop. So let's run that. So what it's doing when you run Gatsby develop is that there's a Node.js server that's working in the background to constantly render your things. So basically when you are done messing with it and you're finished with your work, you can actually publish it and generate the HTML files. But while you're developing it, it will not be HTML. It will be run through a Node server, like a regular website. Yeah, so
I am a developer. It says success. I win. I did it. I'm a JavaScript developer.
Stream, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
We finished today's stream, I think.
Close this. I don't want that. How do I go to the browser thing? Oh, do I have to do it in my browser? Can I do it in
You have to go to your browser.
Well, I will go to my browser and I'll do as it says, and I'll go to localhost 8000. And then I suppose I should probably share that screen as well so that you can see.
Yeah, that sounds good.
How would I even do that? Oh, okay. I'm going to stop the screen and now I'm going to reshare the screen. And
could you share your desktop by any chance if you have like two?
I can, yes. I'm going to share my desktop as soon as I close my work calendar and email and material non-public information. Let's see. Here we are.
That's
okay. Closing this.
Shreya, thank you for your compliments. We are coding gods. I agree.
I would not have said it quite that way, but that is a word that could be said. Yeah. Okay, here we go. It says hello world, and I have this thing opened, and I'm trading spots. I'm sorry that this is taking so long, stream, but you're being very patient with us, mostly because you're not able to interact with us real time over voice, and we just have to pretend that you're being patient with us.
What if they're just like throwing hands as the Bay Area
kids just like smashing their dishes? Why is it taking him so long? Oh, I'm so angry. I have a lot of proprietary information on my screen, as it turns out. All right, here we are. I am getting ready to roll. And ta-da!
We got this.
Why is it not share? Oh, okay. I've used computers before. I've done this. This is how you computer program. I am sharing. I'm sharing this desktop like this. Can you see it? Can you see me now? Hello, stream.
Okay, we should probably not have our stream stuff next. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do. Here is this one. That's the code. And this one is the browser. I did it.
Oh my gosh, we did it. We did it. So yeah, one of the really cool features of Gatsby, and one of the reasons I started using it, is something called hot reloading. And we're gonna see that in live time. So could you go to the source, open the source folder? SRC.
SRC. I did it.
And then go to index.js.
Index.js. Ooh. I see you in there already. I saw your cursor, Daniel Kim.
Yeah, and then let's edit hello world to Jonan is the best.
Hello, Jonan
and just save the file.
Hello, yeah. Jonan is the best. Okay, saving the file. Oh, what? Look at me. I am a computer programmer.
This is coding. This is coding.
It's so good. Yeah, so I want to just point out again, I want to remind all of our viewers who came into this thinking, I can never program like Mark Zuckerberg. They're all geniuses. Please don't aspire to be Mark Zuckerberg. But among other things, it is not a genius pursuit. You change the text and the web page changes.
Yep. So the page refreshes automatically. So whenever you make changes, it automatically shows in the browser. So you can have like two screens open and you can literally see the changes you are making in real time. And we're going to be doing that the whole stream here. Yeah. So it's going to be really, really convenient. So it's amazing. Yay, coding. Okay, great. So that's amazing. But I mean, our website needs to be a little bit more complicated than just displaying hello Joan and Loaf with an emoji, even though that's amazing. So let's start by actually building a React component. Yes, that is true, Stephen. If this was dynamic, and if it changes, it would change without the page refreshing. That is true. So yeah, so let's go and delete all the export default function, all that stuff.
Delete all of it?
Yeah, just leave the first line and let's delete everything else.
Okay. I'm just going to delete this one right here. Just the export default function home.
Just delete the whole thing. I have a plan.
I'm going to delete the whole thing.
I have a plan. Joan, I have. Oh, great. Okay, cool. So the next thing we need to do, wait, not the whole thing though. We need to leave the React stuff. Import React from React.
Oh, because we're using React. We should keep that.
Yeah,
React is the thing that's under Gatsby, so we want that.
So the first thing that we're going to do, so this is really, really good if you want to do something called JSX, which is inserting HTML within your JavaScript stuff, is define your HTML stuff in a constant variable. So that's like very standard practice in Gatsby. So we can just do that right now. So it's const, name it whatever you want, equals. So we're going to use the arrow function in ES6. So it's going to be, I'm looking at the wrong screen. So it's like 10 seconds delayed. So I'm like, why is Joan typing so slow? And I just realized why. Is equal to, and then you do, let's do like the parenthesis, like without just the regular parenthesis. No, not curly. Just regular parentheses. And wait, could you like zoom in for the viewers? Because I don't think you can like see.
I think you meant to say enhance.
Enhance. Yeah.
I learned that from CSI. It's a programmer trick. Okay, and now I want to make this part smaller. How do I make the Explorer go away? Da-da-da. How's that?
Yeah, that's great. And then next to the parentheses, we want to do the equal sign and the greater than sign. So it's a shitty. It's a less good arrow.
Like this.
Yeah, it looks so derpy to me, but that's just me. And then let's open a curly brace. And then hit enter. We gotta like put stuff inside those curly braces. Okay. And then we're going to return, and then do a parenthesis, and then enter, because we want to stuff some stuff in the return. And then we're going to write some HTML. So let's rewrite the hello Joan and Loaf.
Oh.
The reason that we did this is because I hate class-based classes. I like functional programming, not class-based programming in React, because I think it's antiquated, and JavaScript there's hooks. Like we don't need to do that anymore. We don't have to harken to the dark ages. So we're going to stick with function.
Did you just describe object-oriented programming as the dark ages? You did. That's okay. It's all right. No, I used to like you when we started. If we were friends, Daniel, I would be upset. But object-oriented programming is a perfectly valid style of programming, as is functional programming. Whatever you use to build your dreams is fine with me. Hello, Joan and Loaf.
I feel like I said something really offensive. Sorry about that, y'all. So if you're a fan of OOP, don't get offended. I still love y'all.
Why doesn't it refresh? Oh, no.
It should not work because you didn't export anything. So we need to do export default and loaf at the very end.
It's error. You can tell it's, oh, that was it. Okay. Yeah, this is really confusing. Error element type is invalid. Expected a string for built-in components or a class function for composite components, but got object. You likely forgot to export your component. Oh, that's helpful. I like that message. See, you likely forgot to export your component from the file it's defined in. Or you might have mixed up default and named exports. So now I have to export.
Yeah, so you do export default and then the name of the constant.
Constant being loaf in this case.
Yeah. And no, there's no semicolons in JavaScript, bro. We got it. Yeah, there we go.
There are no semicolons in JavaScript, and we're going to just pretend like that's true.
No, sorry. I keep saying these very falsehoods.
We are pretending that it's true because we actually don't care in this day and age. Semicolons are automatically inserted for you. When you get deeper into JavaScript, there is a world in which not writing your own semicolons can complicate your life in unexpectedly horrible ways. But you probably don't care for now, so just ignore it. You can worry about solving that problem when you first have that problem, and second, understand better how to solve it.
Definitely. Yeah, so you might, what is the issue here? This is like the most basic function. What is happening? Export default. It might be,
That's not my semicolon. And were you watching? That was funny. Okay.
Yeah, wait. I think the issue might be the naming of the loaf. Could you do something like, yeah, let's try that if that works.
This is going to be our second most popular bread
Oh,
item.
shoot, I'm so dumb. You have to
You are
wrap
not.
the,
Positive self-talk, Daniel.
You have to wrap the H1 in a div or it will not work.
Wow, really? The div
Yeah.
is required.
It's required.
For those wondering what a div is, no one really knows. What you do is, if it doesn't work, wrap it in a div. Every designer, front-end designer out there is just screaming at their screen right now. Divs are boxes. They're boxes on the web page. You can put things in divs to contain things. It's like, here's a bucket. And designers don't like it when you do it arbitrarily.
Thank you for the tip. And then it should work. I'm going to try it.
Go to the bottom and do the thing. I exported bread gun.
No, like go.
Oh, I have to actually hard refresh. Boom. Hello.
So once there's an error, you have to refresh. Once there's an error.
Oh, if there's an error, you have to do it all over again.
No, not all over again. You just have to Command R it.
Yeah, you have to Command R or click the little whirligig. Refresh the page.
Yeah, exactly. And then let's just make a bunch of other pages, because my amazing website is going to have more than one page. So let's figure out how to do that together. Oh my God, I'm sounding like a children's TV host.
Yeah, that's fine. Maybe children are watching while I'm figuring out how to make a gun in emoji, but that's apparently not a thing. I wanted to make a little pistol thing. I thought there was a revolver we could have. All right, so what are we going to do now? We've got bread gun.
Go to the file system, and then we need to add a couple of pages. So Gatsby has this really neat thing where if you put a JavaScript file within the pages folder under source, it will automatically turn it into a page. So let's say I wanted to make breadgun.org/about or /blog. I would just have to do about.js. Exactly. And then if you're lazy like me, you can just copy and paste your index.js and just and then just rename the constant.
Copy, paste, ta-da. And I can just rename the constant here to
about bread. And well, I have a really, really bad namer of things. So
the key to naming things is not to care at first and to fix them soon. Because if you spend too much time staring at it, words become meaningless. But I will often, when I'm programming, name a thing banana because it's easy to find in my code later. It's very unlikely that in actual programming I've named something banana for real. So then I can look through the code later. You can search pretty easily in all these editors and search for all the places where I said banana. And then I know not only was I just talking about banana, but that this thing probably needs a better name.
Exactly. That's great. And then let's just try going to /about and see if it works. In the editor thingy.
Over here, I'm going /about.
Or you can,
about. I did it. I am a computer programmer.
We got to do a little dance, whenever it compiles successfully. That's that's a milestone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the next thing we need to do is that you are a professional in DevRel. And I feel like we need to link your Twitter in the About page. So
let's do it.
Let's do it.
Famous.
How would we do that?
I would make, you tell me.
An A tag. Woo!
A tag. And an A tag has a reference to the thing you're linking to. Helpfully spelled href. I don't know why. I actually do know. It's a hypertext reference, as in hypertext markup language, which is the same as HTML. pronounced HTML or href. And we would go to HTTPS.
That's so dumb. I like it.
Jonan and Daniel and Bread Show.com. Okay, here we are. We made a link, and then I put a little Twitter in it. Whoa, what did I just do wrong? Oh, this is doing the auto-completed ending thing. That is so confusing me because I'm used to typing my own. Wait, like this.
The Jonah Show. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And now, oh man,
That's awesome.
I made an about page.
Yeah. So, but now there's no way to get to that about page from the landing page. So we got to do that.
I feel like you're awfully judgmental for my startup. I mean, I really just started an hour ago, so give me time. Here we go.
Okay. So under Hello Bread Gun, let's shove in a link to what am I saying? To the about page. Sorry. A boot.
/ about. So before, when I did this, I want to point out that I used a different way of typing this thing. That I was saying / I said https:// I did the whole URL, and now I can just do this thing and this will work. Will this work, Daniel? I'm unfamiliar with Gatsby enough that I have no idea.
This will work. This will work. There's a point. There's a reason why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this just so we can advertise your Twitter. Although you should follow Jonah on Twitter.
I feel like it should mostly. I thought you assured me this show was about my Twitter. This was going to come find good pictures. Okay, no, this is a reference directly to it. So this will only work for pages on the same site. If you want to use a page on a different site, you have to put the name of the site. Okay,
let's save it and then go to the index and see if it works. So this is a way you can definitely link pages, but this is actually not taking advantage of a really awesome feature that Gatsby has, which is called something. I forgot the name. Wait, let me Google it quick.
I'm going to make it clear to any visitors to Breadgun. Yes, prefetching.
Prefetching, that's the thing. So basically what prefetching is let's say you are on danielsbakery.org and I have a list of recipes like on the main website. And it has a lot of pictures because Daniel will be a photographer. Follow my Instagram. But so every time you click that website, you need to wait for those images to load. And sometimes those images be thick and they need a lot of time to load. So what Gatsby has is something called prefetching. So once you visit that initial page, even before you click on anything, it starts loading all of the assets and contents of those other pages. So if you have a really image-heavy websites, it may be really good for you to implement Gatsby because it makes that experience freaking phenomenal because it's so fast. It loads instantly because it's already fetching those assets before users even have to click on it. So yeah, so today we're going to actually implement that here. So what you do to implement that is really simple. So go scroll all the way up, and then we're going to import link, which is a function from the library Gatsby. So import, and then you got to do the little curly brace thing. And then link in capital L, lowercase I, link, yep. And then from, and then you got to do the single quotations. Gatsby. Exactly.
Did it.
And all you have to do to implement this is insanely easy. Replace the A with link, and then href with 2, and that's it. That's all you have to do.
I'm going to replace this with link.
Capital link, capital link.
I'm going to get Nintendo coming after your stream because I was just humming Link's song. Okay, link to. I linked to this thing. I saw Shreya asked about the background. That is the cradle of civilization as viewed from outer space, which I find to be a pretty phenomenal thing to exist at all. That we started there in that along the Nile River Valley, and then we were in outer space taking pictures of it once we lit it all up with artificial lighting. You can find it from NASA if you Google that thing. This is it. We did it, except we failed rebuilding our development bundle and an error because we didn't. Oh, it shows us right where it was. It says this is not a thing. Corresponding JSX.
No, you got to fix the A to link. Like you need to close the link.
I have to
tab.
close the link, right? In both
Yeah,
places.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I did it. All right. Hey, do it.
Woo!
Nope.
It worked.
What? All right. I linked. Now, what does that change exactly?
Wait,
Because I
what?
feel like this web page is the web page we just saw, Daniel.
No, nothing changed except it's faster because it prefetches the about page before you even click on it, so it's faster. That's all
It
it
is
is.
science. That's real
It's
fast.
it's like physics where you can't see it now, but if you multiply it by like a very very big website, you can see it.
So as
Just
we
wanted to double
approach
check
the speed of link, we age faster than our stream. Okay, I got it. Here we go. We're linking.
This is awesome, but I feel like we're lacking a lot of big features, so we're going to start building them out.
All
So
right.
something that we haven't done. So let's say, for example, you wanted to change the name of the header from Hello Bread Gun to Hello Jonin Gun.
I would never
Or-
do that. Jonin guns don't come in Jonin size. That's a very big gun. It's dangerous for individual citizens to own weapons that large. I will call it bread friend, because friend
Bread
is always a better word than gun. And you can sign up for my new social network about bread, where you can bread all of your friends. It's like Twitter, but instead of liking things, you bread them.
Sounds quarantine-y. That sounds like an idea made during the quarantine.
It does. On a live stream that we invented in the 10 seconds that we spoke it aloud. All right.
Yeah, so today we're going to actually build components because we love reusing stuff. Because if you have to make something a lot, why not just copy and paste something you already have? That's like my philosophy in life. So today we're going to make like a header component and a footer component because that's the same across all websites and all pages. So we don't have to make those things again when we make like 3 more pages. Is that cool? Does that sound fun?
Like, are we asking my permission to proceed? Because I'm really busy, as you can see, refactoring my web page.
This is literally the most refactored code I've ever seen. So
it's pretty good. A boot. All right, so let's do that. How do I make a component?
So let's go to the file system, and I'm so creative with my names. We should name this folder called components under source.
Under source. I will make a new folder, and I'm going to name it components.
Yay!
We did it, kind of, but I have to make a file.
Yeah, so let's make a file called header.js and footer.js.
Header.js. The implication being that this one goes at the head of the file. And here, if we tune in and watch carefully, you'll see Jonan carefully typing footer.js. I'm doing like a live play-by-play narrative, third person. It's probably less interesting than I think. Okay, here we go.
It's real spicy.
Yep, header and footer.
Awesome. So now, because we're all lazy, well, I don't want to speak for you. Daniel is lazy.
I'm not lazy.
Copy and paste the code index.js, and we're just going to replace the things we need to replace.
Index.js, I'm copy and pasting the codes into the header. And I did it.
Don't save it yet, though, because it's not live.
Do what I want. Header. Oh, wait, that's the footer. No, that's the header. And then this one. Oh, okay, so it's green. It's red if it's not saved yet. No, why did it save?
No, it's not saved. The white circle is still there. Nothing is saved. Wait, sir. Okay. Anyways, so name the component, the export, like header and footer based on which file it is.
Why is one red and one green? I really need to know. The people need to know. Okay, so I export here footer. And then I also
let's make it a capital because this is the name of a component, and it's
so
better.
We call it capital footer. And then
let's capital
footer. Okay, so if it's the name of a component, then I use a big letter to indicate to people who look at the file that this is a component.
Yeah, but we gotta define the footer. What are we gonna put on the footer? Like we gotta figure this out.
I think I pasted like a lot. Okay, we're not gonna do it that many times though. We'll just do it one time.
Yeah.
Now this is the header one. So where are we gonna put the header on the web page? I was gonna think we should put it on the bottom. What do you think?
Definitely. Okay. And we should put the footer at the very top.
That'll be the least confusing when we have to come back and fix our code when the CEO calls. Yeah.
Definitely. So what are we going to put in the header? We got to figure that out right now.
Oh, we have to figure it out right now?
Yeah,
we're going to put the links in the header. Put the links in the header. Every web page has good links in the header.
Definitely. So let's do that. So
know.
how would you do that?
How would I do that? I would make more links. I want this to go away though, because this is just the header. So I'm taking that out. And then I'm going to put this one more times.
I mean, it might be a good idea to do like a list instead of just have like a list, like instead of just having, just plop it down. You might do like an ordered list, like an OL, or like a regular list, like an LI. That might be cool. I don't know.
I feel like we're kind of killing it. Considering it's not showing up on the web page, we don't have any reason to believe that this suggested solution is reasonable or necessary.
That's the perfect segue. Oh my gosh, you're a professional. So now we should probably like use the component we just created. So let's try importing which one did we just work on? The footer?
The header.
The header. Okay, cool. Let's try importing the header into the file.
From Gatsby?
How do we do that?
Yes, you did it.
So almost. Why are we importing it from Gatsby? We need to import it from the actual like local path. So I think it'd be like dot. No, don't do that. No. Local. Relative. So it'd be
Relative
dot. Yeah. Components. Got it. Yeah.
So the dot, what does that even, why do I have to do that?
So dot, I think of it as a hop backwards because I am 5. So every time you do a dot, it's basically going up a level in terms of like where you are in the folder map.
So if I was in a folder and I wanted to go to my parent folder, the one in which I lie, then I would say ... and go up one.
Yeah, exactly. So Steven, great question. So let's say I'm in folder 3 and my parent folder is 2 and 1. So ... means that I go to like folder 1 to find wherever I need to go. It's basically like a map. And you use like dots to go backwards and the name of the folders to go forwards. If that makes sense. I feel like I'm making literally 0 sense, which is
no, you're
great.
doing fine. Here in this example, we have a folder to look at where if we were in the components folder, if our little shell, if we were in the shell, like we were in that console and we were in the components folder and we wanted to go up one to the source folder, we would say ... And if we wanted to go down one, we would say cd space components, where cd stands for change directory. So really what ... means is change the directory to the one above me. Let's go back in time. And then we can cd into the directory and we can go back out and then we're dancing. Like that.
Nice.
That
That's
was a little
awesome.
hokey pokey example of directory exchanging.
Yeah, exactly.
Nailed it.
You nailed it. Yeah, definitely. So remove the curly braces.
From this.
Because we're importing a whole component. Yeah.
And when I put the curly braces around the link, what was I doing that wasn't a whole component?
You're importing like something from the Gatsby like library.
So that's one of the exports from the Gatsby library, but it's not a whole component unto itself. Is that a statement that is true? Okay.
I might have to look that up because low-key, I just made so many Gatsby websites that it's like hard-coded into my brain that this is the way it is.
That's why I'm here. That's exactly why I'm here, right? Because I ask you the silly questions that you wouldn't think to ask anymore, but the people, that's exactly what they want. And we have to give the people what we want, don't we, Daniel? If we do this and I ask the silly questions, I am empowering the learners at home. And in reality, they aren't silly questions at all because of that. Because that's the whole point of having me here, not knowing what I'm doing.
Oh, that's great. Love you, Jonan. Okay, cool. No, we need to like use the header now. We just have it imported. Now we got to use it. So let's shove it inside of the divs.
We're going to put the header inside the divs. And then, wow, that's not necessary. You stop that. Header. Like this?
Header. Yeah, and then, yeah, exactly. You got it. That's exactly how I do it.
It says, module not found, cannot resolve components in...
No, you need to, the file path is wrong. It's component / header.js.
Oh.
But it's header. Don't put the JS.
Oh, we don't ever put the JS because we just don't want to. Look, see, there's so many more boots now. A boot, a boot, a boot, a boot. A boot of the many things he does. Okay, here we go. Now
Wait, can we get a standing ovation for what you just accomplished? You imported, created, and put your reusable component in
I
there.
have to stand, like actually stand up. I'm gonna half
No, no,
stand.
no,
This is
I'm
like a
joking.
half. No, okay. I'm gonna half standing ovation.
Definitely. And then yeah, just repeat the same thing with the footer, but like we got to make it more interesting. So the footer gotta have something.
Feel like boots are pretty interesting, but fine. Oh, and if I put spaces after them,
Ooh, that might be
then
better.
oh wait, but if I do it that way, will the blue underline be on the space? I think it will. Let's find out. Oh, that's not going to work. What I'm trying to do is create a little gap there so I can have different boots. That's good enough for now. All right, so I'm going to copy this whole thing and I'm going to put it in the footer.
Are we
Now I
gonna
have
have the
footer.
same links in the footer?
Yeah, I mean, it's all boots anyway, all the way down. Boots on boots on boots on boots. Everybody loves a good boot pile. Here we go.
Oh no, you gotta put the name as the footer.
Did I undo this? Did I already do this work and I'm redoing
Yeah.
it? That's kind of what programmers do, though. What you do is you do a thing and then you do it again over and over for your whole career.
Definitely. Well, that sounds kind of depressing. Oh my gosh.
It's fine because every time you get to do it with a new language and it feels like you're doing it from the very beginning. How about this? We'll put it down here with a footer. I did it. I did it. I'm copying all the things that Daniel already taught me because he's an excellent. All right, done.
I am.
Emoji should be wrapped in span. How come it worked before?
No, so it still works. It's a warning. So
Oh.
basically, it's an accessibility problem. Accessibility. But if you see the error is the footer is not defined, so you probably didn't import it correctly, which you did not.
Oh. Whoa, that was a real judgment. You did not. That was very judgy of you, but I'm doing it now. And so everybody just calm down at home. You can stop smashing the dishes. It's gonna be fine. Components / footer made with real feet. Ta-da!
Oh my gosh. Can we also like do a little dance like while it worked? Okay, cool.
I can do like the Flossie, the Conan O'Brien thing where you, I don't know how to dance very well. My children don't let me dance. Here we go. I did this. It's saved. Look at that. A boot, a boot, a boot, a boot. Hello, bread friend. I think it's a pretty stylish looking webpage, if I say so myself.
It's pretty nice, not gonna lie. But I think we should do something else because, like, let's say for example, this business is gonna be amazing, and then I get 50,000 orders for my sourdough starter, which is surprisingly terrible. Like, it's really bad. Like, you gotta try it sometime. It's so bad. John, I will ship you some.
I don't want to just eat the starter. It probably doesn't taste very good. You know, you have to cook it.
Oh,
that's
probably why.
This is exactly why you should not be in charge of breadfriend.com. It's a good thing that we're co-founders. You don't ever want to be a solo founder. People watching at home, you need two perspectives. How do I do this?
So basically now, this is an amazing website, but right now it's super annoying because you have to import the header, you have to import the footer, you have to like put it inside the divs. It's a lot of work. So instead what we're going to do is have a layout, which is a mind-blowing concept in that we just create one thing and then it's like a template and then we just shove every other page into that template. So we don't have to do any extra work to create pages. Doesn't that sound amazing? Okay.
Yes. Was that way? We didn't script this part, but if I had a layout, it would look like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could put my scribbles at the top for the links and my scribbles at the bottom. And then I just changed the middle part is what you're trying to explain? Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to create our layout just within the component because it's another component. How does that sound?
Okay. I have a components folder already. I'm basically a component expert by now. So I'm just going to make another file and I'm going to call it layout.
Layout.js, sorry, not layout.div. What am I saying?
Layout.div. Hey, all right, we did it. Oops.
And with layout.div, we're gonna get into some advancement of advanced studies, okay? Because there's some advanced React that's gonna go on here. So we're gonna import React like normal, and then we're gonna define a constant variable called layout. But we're gonna pass in properties, which is super cool. So wait, import the stuff.
Import the stuff. Yes, Kyle, you will be able to find our code on the internet. And also, you can find layouts and components online. I imagine these are things that you can just steal, right, Daniel?
Yeah.
There are places to just get whole layouts.
You need to cite your sources and then copy them from open source repos. But yeah, there's like fuck. Oh shoot. I can't say
Shoot,
these things.
Garsh. What I
Garsh.
meant by steal was steal like an artist, like the book.
Yeah,
You borrow and you steal like an artist, and you innovate and you yes and the work and you grow upon it, so that we as a society level up in general. Read the book, steal like an artist. It's a good book, I'm told.
So yeah, there are some libraries like Tailwood CSS, Boma.
You have to tell me like actually what to type here though, because I forget what's happening often.
Oh no,
I remember. I'm importing layout.
No. You're not importing any. You're in the layout. You're defining layout here. You can't import the file that you're in right now. You're
Is that
importing.
like fileception? If you import the layout into the layout, does it explode?
Yes.
That was really close. You almost just wrecked my very expensive computer. You got to watch me closely. What do I type?
So you type in import, capital React, and then from, and then you do React.
Gatsby.
Oh, React.
React.
You import React from React. It's super dumb, I know. And then you do let's define a constant variable called layout. Const layout. Sorry.
Like is it this way? It is capital because it's a component, right?
Yep. And then equals. And then no, you got to put the equals between the layout.
Oh, const layout. I forgot this equals. I need an equals here, because
exactly
this whole mess, this whole hot mess here, that means, hey, here's a function. And so what I'm saying is const layout equals this whole function thing, an anonymous function. And it's anonymous because we didn't name it.
Mm-hmm. And then let's return an empty div.
I'm going to return an empty div in curly braces because that's what we do when we return things.
No, return should be in parentheses.
Oh, man.
Almost
good. All right. I dived and, see, it does it. All right.
Wow, that's amazing. And then let's import the component. So under index.js. Index.js. No.
I'm in index.js.
Oh, sorry. I am like blind. I started watching the wrong
It's really hard to see all the stuff here because we have a lot of.
Wait, do you want to make the ratio a lot more better?
No, this is fine. It's good. I'll just keep closing the thing because we don't always need to have this open. It's useless information most of the time. I should just close it when we're not using it. Okay. Oh, and look, I can just go between my files up here. That's so much easier. I'll just do that.
That might be better. Yeah, like what we do now is that we just import layout. So let's delete the import header from whatever and footer from whatever. I feel like I need to stop saying things like from whatever.
Like, I don't know, bro. It's probably fine.
Yeah.
Now. I did it right that time. I'm pretty sure I did it right that time.
No, and well, it's empty though. Oh no, you didn't export the thing at layout.js.
Oh, did it tell us? It gave us not a very useful error this time.
There's so many errors. That's kind of why I think.
There are a lot of errors, but you know what you can always do is just Google the errors. That's mostly what programmers do. Export, default, export. What am I exporting?
Export default and then layout.
Layout. Yes.
Great. And then let's go back. So the point of the layout is that we don't have to type in import a header and footer for each one. So let's go back to index.js.
Boom.
And let's delete. Oh, you already deleted the header and footer.
But I'm still importing these here, which is maybe why the page is still working at all. Somehow I'm still ending up with a header and footer. Right?
That is weird.
It's because I'm importing it in the layout, so the layout loads.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
Wait, can you reload the page? Oh, that's why it's not. Oh, that makes sense. Because Gatsby showed an error. Do you not see this?
Oh, I see it now. I did reload, but then I think what it did, that was actually a rare edge case we just witnessed, where probably whatever hot reloading there is didn't reload all of the JavaScript stuff at the same time. And we managed to reload the page. I'm fairly certain that we reloaded the page in one go.
That was a unicorn moment. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, let's do it some more. We'll go over to the layout thing.
And then let's copy and paste well, I think you deleted it already, so you might have to copy and paste it again. we need to import the header and footer into the layout. So you should do import header in layout.
Wait,
Yeah.
and then I wanted to do redo here. Command Shift Z. Oh, I already used that for something else. I can't actually just do that here. I have to click it every time. This is slower than actually typing it, but now I feel like I'm committed. It's like when you what do they call that? The gambler's fallacy? Something. All right, here we go.
Fallacy of sunken.
Yeah. When
Okay,
you feel like you have to keep going because you've already done a thing that was really not very clever and you just kept going. I'm going back over to my other file now, to my layout.js file.
Hi, Jenna. This is a delight. I agree.
Pink Hat Jackson. That's a good name.
That's a pretty good name.
My
Given that her name has nothing to do with Jackson.
maybe Pink Hat Jackson just really likes Michael Jackson.
That's true. That's true.
Import layout header. Import header.
Yeah. We're confusing ourselves at this
That was close. That was really close.
No, there's only one dot. We're already in the components folder. So it's dot slash and then header.
So there's only one dot. That's a thing we've never explained to Steven. What does one dot mean?
It's just one folder above you. No, it's not slash components. It's slash header. Bye, Steven.
Bye, Steven. Take care.
Wait, no, it's dot slash and then it's header. Because we're importing the header file.
And for those who come along later, dot slash means the directory I'm in. Use the directory I'm in. Dot slash this directory. Header. Ta-da! We did it. And now I have to reload because I had an error. And it works. And I didn't even add my header yet.
Yeah. And then we need to add the footer as well. You gotta put it inside the div though.
I have to put it inside the div because everything must come in a div. I really need to enable my Vim shortcut mode and turn off this thing where it auto closes tags for me because it's doing it. Oh, it's doing it twice because your cursor's in there with me.
Oh, I think I'll just log off. I think
no, you can stay in here. Stay in here because you have to fix stuff. If we need, it could be an emergency.
No, it's okay. You got this. And then let's do footer as well.
I do it in one like that, or do I have to have the actual double thing? I think I
no. You have to do it in one. You can do both. Doesn't matter.
Really?
The error is different. It doesn't have to do with this. Yeah. And then let's do footer as well.
I did it.
No, you gotta import the footer.
You are bossy. You have a lot of sass. Daniel's mother, if you're watching this, you raised a sassy young man, and I like it. Actually, he's great. Footer. How about that?
Save it and then let's see where we're at.
Rebuilding. I rebuild. Oh, I see. Okay, but why doesn't it? Oh, it doesn't duplicate it because I deleted it from the other page. Did we already delete it over here? No. See, busted. It's in two places.
That's so weird. Let's delete the header and the footer.
Wait, how are we using the...
That's so weird. Wait, can you go to... Oh, bro, it's failed. Wait, let's go back to index.js.
Okay.
And delete the header and the footer.
Delete this. And it'll go away, huh?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no. Now it can't resolve components. In users Jonah.
Oh, you didn't import it correctly. It's slash component slash layout. Slash layout, yeah. This is very entertaining.
The autocomplete stuff that VS Code does is not going awesome for me. Hey, it's doing the expectedly wrong thing. Mostly in programming, you're trying to find it to break in the correct way.
Oh, this is correct. This is correct because you never used the layout. You didn't actually use it ever.
Yeah.
So let's replace div with layout and see what happens.
Whoa, like right here, just like this? That's a thing? I can just do it?
You can try it and then see if it works.
I have to do it down here too.
No.
Space Cat. That's how we celebrate. See? That's my celebration dance. Have to go to bed for school. See you later, Bo. Get some rest.
Yeah, bro. Kodak Graphic. These themes are amazing. Yeah.
They're really confusing. The pathing stuff is very confusing, but just to reiterate, if you're in a directory right here in components and you want to go up one and you're looking for a file that's in source, then you would go ... I went up. And then if you want to go down, you would just go components. So if you're in source and you want to get something that's in components, you would just type components /. And if you're in components and you want to get something in source, you would go ... and that would just be here. You wouldn't have to say ... source, because ... itself is a shortcut way of saying go up one. ... is go up one. And ... again would take me to Jonenloaf. And then I
we're going on next week, by the way, Kodak Graphic. Graphic. We're going over Gatsby Sharp and Gatsby Image next week. So if you stick around next week.
I thought that you were explaining that I was explaining the directories and that was unnecessary. But can we spend next week on directories? I just want to keep doing that thing I was just doing for the whole 2.5 hour stream.
Wow, that's a very long stream. Wow.
It's going to be great. Okay.
And then, okay. But I would really want to display hello bread friend, right? And we're not getting to display that.
Why doesn't it show up?
Yeah, because let's go back to layout and see what happens. So in layout, it literally just tells it to display the header and the footer. It ignores everything inside. So we have to use this React tool called properties. Ba-dum-bum. Okay, this is so low budget, guys, that I have to add my own sound effect. It's amazing. So we want to put something in it. What we have to do is we have to pass in some properties. Woohoo! So if you want to pass in some properties into the layout thing, what we need to do is type in inside the parenthesis, we need to type in props. That's what we're importing. Props, and that's
built in parentheses up here.
Yeah, exactly. And then between.
All right, just keep talking. You don't have to.
I don't know,
mind
man.
What's going on.
I think this needs like a moment of silence.
Props it like it's hot. That's funny. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I'm good at jokes. Okay, here come the props.
And then between header and footer, let's do a curly brace and then type in props.children.
Ooh. All of the children. And this is going to get all of the props children. Children, I think it's illegal to use children as props, like just to like make them stand on the set. Be like, you can't move. You're dead.
I don't know, man.
Wait, did we just do it? That was it?
Did it. That's an advanced React at work here.
That doesn't make any sense.
Should I explain what's going on here? Yes, Dan. Oh, great. Okay, cool. So everything inside, so when you wrap something with the layout, everything inside of it is considered like properties because you're basically passing in information to a particular component, right? So yeah, basically by putting the thingies inside of the parentheses, you're being like, hey bro, this component is complicated. It's not defined by how it looks on the outside. It might have something on the inside that makes it a special component. And then what you can do is you can use that, like all the details that are like that the div is that the thing is sorry. So the whatever the components is wrapping, right? The inside you can actually access that information through like accessing its children. If that makes literally no sense.
No, I think what you're trying to say is that the props wrap the props with the props in them, and then there's children, and then you type children, and then did I get it?
Yeah,
I don't think I understood it actually at all. Can I try one more time? Hit me again.
Yeah. Sorry, I gotta like figure out how to like. I need to organize my thoughts. 1 second.
That's okay.
So, how do I do this?
How do you explain props.children? Props is coming in. I can see where if this is a function, we talked about this being an anonymous function, insofar as I'm then passing a thing in, that makes sense. It says it's a parameter. When you give a parameter to a function, it's like saying, here's the thing. But in this case, it's saying, hey, whatever you're handed, call it props, right? So I could call this dog if I wanted, as long as I call it dog down here. And then I have dog children, like
exactly
creepy hybrid beasts. But I could make this back into props again because we name it props just so people also know what we're talking about. When I show this code to another programmer, props is the properties. Props is short for properties. It could just as easily be named properties. All we're doing is telling this anonymous function, hey, here comes the thing that is properties. You can name it whatever you want. Later, you can check the properties to get all sorts of things on it. You can call all kinds of stuff on it.
Yeah, so I think the best way to explain children is that it's basically the content within, so whatever's wrapping what the component is wrapping is the children. And the component itself is the properties, but it can be literally named anything, but the conventional thing to name properties is properties. So that's why it says props.children. So you're basically telling them that this component is special when you like put props inside the parentheses.
So I could call props the component.
You could if you wanted to.
But I wouldn't do that because it would be very confusing to people, because props is what Gatsby programmers call it.
Yes, exactly.
And the lesson here is just copy what already exists in the code. If you're using someone else's code, especially, and they named a thing, don't change the names arbitrarily. Just let their names stand. Okay.
So yeah, I think we got a question. What's the key difference between props and props/children? So props, there's no difference because you're basically getting the children of the prop. That makes sense. The prop is the parent. This is like React things. So the prop is the actual component, and the children is like the thing that is within that component. Like, for example, here it would be the content, like hello bread friend.
This thing that we're passing in here, it's a bucket of whatevers. And in there you can have all kinds of things, and you can have children in there. And when we say children, that's like a magic word from React that actually refers to whatever we put in the bucket. In the case of the layout, when we called layout back over here in index, we put this stuff in the layout. The stuff that we're talking about, it's this. So what we're talking about is the child elements, the elements that are inside of layout. So if I add other elements in here, those will be children of this thing. I suspect I could even do like parents, if that's a thing.
Yeah,
that would be confusing in this case. But if I, there are other methods that I can call on the bucket ojunk that I just passed into layout. So anything between layout and layout, that's the bucket props. That's the thing that we put into here. And we can name it whatever we want. We can call it stuff I just did, stuff I sent, right? Stuff I sent. And then down here is stuff I sent. And in the stuff I sent, just find the children.
Exactly. That's great. Wait, Jonan, this is just a question for you. How much more do you want to go? Because this is like a stopping point, but we could like go into more with GraphQL and stuff. Did you want to go further, or like?
Whoa, you can do GraphQL. Wait, if we're going to do GraphQL, we're going to write a whole server and everything right now.
No. We're not going to write it because Gatsby has it preloaded. Basically, we just need to. It's really cool.
Let's do it. I mean, I feel like having said it, and it's really cool, we're going to use GraphQL to get some graphs and some QL.
So what does QL stand for in GraphQL? Yeah, it's
query language.
So query language, that is correct. So today, like, we're not going to go super deep into it because we don't have all the time in the world. It's a school night for me, you know. I pretend I'm still in school. But yeah, so Gatsby uses GraphQL as the way. It is confusing, but hopefully I can clear some stuff up. Gatsby uses GraphQL to source data. Because the whole like appealing part of Gatsby, in my opinion, is that you can fetch data from anywhere. Where it's like it can be your file system, it can be Twitter, contentful Twitter, like any place that has an API where it has data, you can source data from. So it's basically you can plug in your data source and then it'll power your website. That's like the really appealing thing about Gatsby. And it uses GraphQL to do that. So today we're going to explore some really cool stuff with Gatsby and GraphQL. So Jonan, if you go to the terminal and do Command F. No, like this terminal.
Oh. Oops.
You have to go to the old one, or it kind of defeats the purpose.
How do I do that?
Do you see the 2.zhsh?
Hey, zish node.
And then Command F.
Command F.
And then type in GraphQL. GraphQL.
Like Graphy, but more QL. Do I do this like this? QL up, up,
Like
up.
graph. Okay, never mind. We're just gonna do this manually. Let's go to the browser and go to slash localhost 8000 slash underscore 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 GraphQL.
Whoa.
Yep.
Did you just hack my computer?
Mhm.
GraphQL. It's hacking. You're a computer hacker.
Wait, actually, should we use the GraphQL playground? I mean, wait, I have to Google it real quick. But
No, this is good. Let's do this. I want to go here and look at this. See, this is where the filter lives. This is
so
see. This
basically,
isn't confusing.
this is a kind of a worse version of GraphQL Playground. So this is like the open source thing, but Apollo has something called GraphQL Playground that has a better UI, and you can enable it like really quickly.
All right,
Wait,
let's do that because this is really confusing. And just memorize all this at home, folks. Anything you see here, just learn all these words and what it does.
you're a bad influence, Joe.
I'm good. I'm a good teacher. I just taught them. I just taught them GraphQL. Okay, what do I do?
Okay. So let's go to the documentation. I want to show people how to find documentation.
I'm gonna go to Gatsby JS.
Let's type in Gatsby JS and GraphQL Playground.
Oh, are we just gonna Google it?
Yeah, we're gonna use the power of Google. Google
GraphQL Pro. Hey.
Playground.
Oh, I did it. I did it wrong. Playground. GraphQL and Playground. I have to type Playground
Playground, yeah.
or Googling.
Google and using the first one, and then don't try this solution at home because like the one on this site because it does not work. Like the save dev cross env stuff does not work. I tried it a lot and I still cannot figure it out. So all you have to do is, do you see that command within the red? So Gatsby GraphQL IDE Playground Develop. Copy and paste what's inside there and copy and paste it into the terminal. But not the whole thing, just the red part, without the quotation marks.
Well, do we want it? We want it all the time, though, right?
Yeah, but also it doesn't work. I tried it like 5 times and I still could not debug it.
Let's try it. If I put it in my package JSON, is this where it goes? Under my default, into my develop section.
Scroll up.
There it is. Develop. Gatsby develop.
Mm-hmm. I tend to be pretty judgy during coding tutorials. I need to work on that.
Yeah, you need to work on that. All right. I did it.
Okay, we did it. We also need to install some stuff.
I have to stop the server and restart it.
Mm-hmm. So we have to stop it, and then you need to npm install.
I stopped it with Control-C, by the way. I did Control-C to stop it.
That is a really good tip. I did not know that was a thing until way too late in my dev career.
You can also do, I want to say Command D does it. No, something does it. That wasn't it, though. Whatever I just did was not it. There's another way to do this thing.
You have to install the npm packages. Do you see where it says if you haven't installed cross-env, you can do it with in the HTML page, the last code snippet?
Oh, if you haven't installed cross-env, you have to do it this. Oh, so this is why you didn't want me to do it the hard way.
Yeah.
Well, fine. Should have done it the way you suggested in the first place. But now I'm doing it the slow way. If you haven't installed cross-env, cross-env says use npm run develop instead of Gatsby develop and access it when the development server is running on this. Okay, I will use npm run develop instead. That I feel like should be bigger. If I was making this tutorial, I would make the thing is changing. I would be like, big letters. This thing that you used to do all the time, it's broken now on purpose because you changed that. Now do this. Okay.
Hey, that's
It sort of worked. And validated.
If it works, I'm going to cry because it did not work for me.
Well, that's the whole point, is that when you show your problem to another programmer, it immediately works perfectly.
I know. It is the saddest thing. Oh my gosh, it works.
Yep.
Oh, I hate life.
No, you don't. You love your life, and you love that you're a programmer because we have the capacity to collaborate to fix things. Remember the part about the co-founders? You need 2 programmers.
I tried this for 45 minutes, no joke, and I
believe you. I believe you. You know what's really funny is I do this with rubber duck sometimes. They call it rubber ducking, where you have a rubber duck on your monitor and you just talk to the rubber duck. One of the benefits of streaming is that I can pretend talk to people and be like, this is how this thing works. But then if I'm wrong, I have to think through my process as I'm saying the thing, and I'll say, all you have to do is input. Oh, wait, no, that's not going to work. I was going to say that you do it this way. When you have to explain what you did to a rubber duck or another human or an imaginary friend who maybe exists behind a camera, then you have to think through your whole process, and you often discover small errors that you made. I bet that there was something trivial that you forgot, a typo you made in the environment variable, and you were just done then, and it would never work.
Okay, yeah.
You just have to step back sometimes. But normally what I do personally when I encounter a bug like that is keep smashing my face into the keyboard over and over again, as though trying the same thing repeatedly is somehow going to magically change. And then it doesn't, and I quit programming for a while, and I go for a walk and I feel better.
Oh, that's so wholesome and nice. Wow, that's awesome.
We did it. It works. I'm querying the GraphQL. I clicked the play button. It didn't do anything.
Oh, because we didn't put anything in the query. You need to first write a query.
I'm going to write a query.
No, before we do that, we got to query. We have to have something to query. So let's go back to the VS Code and let's go into Gatsby. Do we have a Gatsby config file? I forgot if we do.
Oh, I'm sure it exists in the Gatsby config file.
What? Okay, cool. So we don't have any plugins yet, but we will soon. But before that, let's have some metadata, because let's say, for example, me and you, Joan, get in a fight, and we're like,
I love fighting.
We gotta change the name of the website, and you don't want to go through and change every instance, through Control F and Control Replace. You want to
take a long time.
Because if we have a fight and we gotta change the business name, we gotta do it really quickly.
I have to rebrand, because when we split the business, all you get is the trademark, and I take everything and all the bread.
Not all the bread. Can I have at least 10% of the bread?
I get all of the bread, and you can have the name, which actually has my name in it. Isn't our company called Joan and Loaf? Yeah, you can inherit the business name. That happened to the cookie man, Famous Amos. You know about that? Sorry, Mr. Amos, your cookie brand was stolen from you, and then he went on to make Uncle No Name cookies. Uncle Nonami is how he pronounced it, because the company bought his brand and kept it. This is not what the people are here for, I don't think. I don't feel like you came here to hear about cookie trademarking.
Wait, we gotta, let's get back on track. Okay, so we need to configure our site by adding some metadata. So let's type in site metadata. It can be literally anything. I'm just making this up right now. Site metadata.
I feel like you're trying really hard to keep this stream on track, and I am actively working against you. And I apologize for that. It amuses me.
That is offensive. We don't do that.
I know. All right, site metadata.
No, the underscore in the metadata, the.
Oh, we don't do that. You were saying that was offensive, not just my face, but we do this. No. What do we do in JavaScript?
Yeah, that. Yeah.
We do camel case, because this is clearly more readable than just creating an all but none pixel gap between two words that should be separated. Let's just mash them together.
You get it. Okay, good. Okay. I don't get sarcasm. So let's do colon.
Colon.
Yeah. And then let's open a curly brace, because we got to shove stuff inside the metadata.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, what are we going to shove in here? So we got to shove in title, right? Should we do name instead of title? Title kind of sucks. Let's do name. And name could be hat. There we go. Hat could be Jonan's hat.
We're pivoting. We're making a Jonan show thing. For the sake of those following along, we'll call this thing title. No, what did you say it should be called? You said site
or name.
Name.
Great. And then the author should be Jonan, because I do not want to be associated with this website anymore.
It's fair. I appreciate that.
You have full ownership.
Jonan. All right, I did it.
Let's try doing singular. I don't know why. I should probably look this up. But I always configured the names without quotation marks, but singular things.
Oh, just This one, single quotes.
Yeah, single versus double quotes in Gatsby.
Here we go.
I get literature stuff. Okay, never mind. I'll figure that out. Okay, cool. We defined the metadata, which is amazing.
Isn't
But
there
you
like a
forgot-
turn on preferences where I can turn on Vim mode?
Oh.
I won't do it. Okay, fine.
And you forgot a comma after the Jonan.
You forgot a comma after the Jonas.
No, not there. Like after the curly brace. Because
Oh, because I'm in the other thing. Okay.
Yeah. you and that and plugins have to be separated.
Did it.
But yeah, okay, we did it. Okay, great. Now we can query some stuff because now we have something to query. So let's go in there and then let's write a query. So if you go to the right, you see the little docs thing that's peeking out from the behind?
Boop.
Boop. Okay, great. So you see all the stuff that's there. So type in, well, do you see site somewhere?
Yep.
Should be something called site. Yeah. And if you click on site, there should be a bunch of like site stuff. So type in, click on the type site because we're on the site. Oh, never mind. Let's click node. Right, implements node. And what's with a node? So node, there should be something around like site metadata. Is that not a thing? Yeah, there we go.
Right
Sorry.
site metadata.
Yeah, that's what I meant to do. Sorry. I haven't looked at this UI in a while because I used to the not as good pre-installed GraphQL thing. This is like the fancy thing I learned about 2 days ago.
So I should just call this metadata.
Yeah, you can just call it metadata, whatever you want. It doesn't have to be site metadata.
The schema? No, the docs. The docs, the site build metadata, the site. I'm going to find it again to prove I know it.
Site metadata.
Bam, I did it. I do this with my father when I train him to use television remotes. I'll be like, now you do it. Now you go to Netflix, Dad. Okay, now go watch NFL somewhere. There we go. We did it. All right.
Wait, why is it title and description? It should be.
I don't really know what's happening. I thought you did. Oh, hey, look, I did this. Boom.
There we go. There we go. Sorry, I was like very confused because you renamed it metadata. That makes a lot of sense.
This doesn't make any sense to me, title and description, but
site metadata is like a thing.
Oh, it's like a thing that's already part of Gatsby. Okay.
It's meant to be integrated with SEO stuff. So it's like built in.
Oh, that's the site metadata for SEO purposes, which stands for search engine optimization. So Google can find our web pages.
That's why I wanted to name it site metadata. So it's all integrated at the same time.
Okay, good. Great. So we did it. And now we go over here and it says name and author. So
great.
I can query it somehow. How do I query this?
That's a great question. So you undo the docs.
Undoed.
And then we're going to type it in the query on the left side. Type in query.
Thus.
I think it's query, actually, not query. But anyways. And then we got to open the curly brace. And then type in site. No, but you got to like hierarchize it. That's not.
Oh, I have to actually enter site.
Yeah. Site. And what's within site is metadata. Uh-huh. And then what's within metadata? What are we trying to query?
Name
and author. No comma. Is there a comma? No, I think there's no comma.
Like that?
Mm-hmm. And then click enter.
Oh my goodness. I'm basically a wizard.
Like at this point, yeah, I think you're.
Just remember our Space Cat celebration like this, and then I get a dance. I was dancing too.
I only have one dance.
I think I knocked something over. This is good. I just broke my computer. Look at me. This is cool. I thought GraphQL was going to be hard to learn, but I just figured it out in 9 minutes. Now I can do this.
Hard. All you have to do is figure out what the hierarchy is. Also, yes, these dance breaks are iconic. I agree. So yeah, all you have to do is figure out where the things are, and then just click enter, and it will validate it for you. And if it doesn't work, it will show you an error.
I have to just figure out where they are by browsing around, and then I can just do it, and I can hit play. Yeah. And so on the website, if I wanted to query this thing, do I copy this? Do I need this?
Oh my gosh, you're the king of transitions. Yeah, so can you please copy that? And then we're gonna use this information in the header because we want to use the metadata, not hard code it. So let's go to header. Okay, this might be a really bad example because we don't insert. It's okay. We can work with it. So if we want to use this, can you scroll up a little bit? There's nothing to scroll. Okay, cool. We need to import some stuff from Gatsby. So let's import. So I mean, we already have it open, so you don't have to write this. No, delete that line. So within link, can you like do comma, and then we're also gonna use import GraphQL. GraphQL. No, it's all lowercase. Exactly. And then you have to use something called use static query. And use static query in Gatsby is like your best friend because it basically allows you to hydrate your components, which means fill them with data. So all of your components are dry and dataless and loveless until the use static query comes in, and it kind of adds data and life back into the component. It's amazing. We stand. So basically what that was a really, really bad explanation of use static query. So use static query is like a Gatsby like feature that allows you to use like React hooks to query like GraphQL when you build the website. So when you generate the HTML files. So every time you generate the HTML files, it queries like your GraphQL to make sure you have like the most updated information. Does that make sense?
Yes. Every time that I use it, queries the static query with static query.
Yeah, almost. So basically, use static query works whenever you build the website. So whenever you generate the HTML files, use static query like gets the information fresh whenever you want to generate the static HTML files. So let's say I deploy this to Netlify right now. When I deploy it, it's gonna ask the GraphQL server, "Hey, what's the most up-to-date information?" and publish it to the HTML files.
Why can't it just ask the file that lives right there that I typed it in?
Because how Gatsby is constructed, it can take data from anywhere. So it can be the file system, but it can also be like Contentful or Twitter.
Oh, it could take it from my Twitter profile and just put it on a page? That's pretty rad. I like that. But only when building.
No, so you can do it dynamically as well. So, like, but use static query has the word static in it. So that's done during build time. You can do other things like live. So it hydrates like whenever you serve it to the user.
And they call this hydrating in the React community.
Hydrating is the sexy term that like industry people use.
Except that often industry people don't use terms regarding sexualization of code about code. But
I mean, I disagree with that premise in the future, though. Hopefully that can change.
Yes.
I'm kidding. I don't want to be knocked off of Twitch. Please don't ban me. But yeah, I feel like I'm getting so off topic today.
We're a little bit off topic. Let's say that this code, which we'll describe as cool instead or good, that does use static query, uses our static query thing, which looks Thusly, but we don't actually just paste it into stuff. How do we do it?
So we need to define a constant variable to make it equal to like the thing that you're querying, because you can't just shove it in. You gotta like put it inside a constant variable. You want to put that inside of the component, because that's how inheritance works.
I put it inside of header.
Yeah, but not return. So do it above return, like inside the curly braces. Yeah.
Const,
and you can call it whatever you want.
I'm going to call it whatever you want because we have to give the people what they want.
Okay.
All right, and I'm going to go back over here.
No. Yeah.
Why is it crooked? It's this indentation is really not working for me.
Yeah, this looks very sad.
I'm not coping well. All right. Well, there it is.
Equals?
Oh, equals something.
Yeah, and then equals use static query.
No, it makes sense because it's probably waiting for me to finish the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah, and then parenthesis, enter. So you want to expand that stuff. And then let's put inside it copy and paste. Oh, no, forgot the GraphQL. No, you can't do that yet. Undo it. Almost. Type in GraphQL. And you got to do the back tick on the top left of your keyboard. GraphQL, back tick, and then paste it in. Exactly. And then you want to make sure that you close out. Yeah, it should work now. But we need to use the data, actually. So we need to replace. It should work, yeah. We scroll down. We got to replace one of the aboots with the actual metadata. So let's get so do you remember like yeah, exactly. So not exactly. So you need to name the first thing the name of the variable. So whatever you want. Oh no. So you have to go hierarchically. So it'd be dot no, that's correct. Whatever you want, dot site, dot metadata, dot name. So it's very long.
Oh, I can see why people like this so much.
Doesn't that make sense? Like it makes
Yeah, no,
sense.
it does. It's easier than having to write an API.
Exactly. And then like you can check right there. It works.
Yeah, it does. A Jonan's hat. And then I could just do it like that over and over again.
You got to do a dance break now.
That's a song I wrote about my GraphQL query because I'm an expert song writer in addition to code writer. And I wrote whatever you want. And then I spelled it backwards somehow or added an A in there. I think it's because I was dancing too enthusiastically.
Yeah, exactly.
I did it.
Yeah. And then the only thing you need to do now is repeat. Are you a shark? No, this is Snorlax. Oh my god.
It's Snorlax.
I would never be a shark.
Would you be a baby shark? Do you want to hear a song about baby sharks?
Yeah, you have children.
Baby shark. Yeah, well, you can't sing that song. It's probably copyrighted. You can't just sing anything. You have to make it up.
Oh, baby shark. Okay, never mind. We're getting off track again.
Yeah,
but you get us with author as well. So whatever you want to do, it's great.
I could do this. I could say like Jonan hat.
Yeah.
If I changed this to another curly thing, and then I said whatever you want, and it actually just auto completes, and then I say dot site
dot metadata dot author
metadata dot author. Why is it not auto complete the last one for me? Last bit, it doesn't do the little auto completing thing. Okay, that's fair. I guess if you want to be like that, GraphQL, fine. How about that? I did it. Jonan's hat, a boot. And hello, bread friend. And we just killed it.
Yeah, we killed that.
I killed a lot of jokes. I killed a lot of bread jokes. I killed a lot of emojis in the making of this website. I would claim that no emojis were harmed, but they were.
Yeah, these emojis were abused today.
We did a really good job. Have you noticed how smart and good we are at everything we try?
I mean, I don't know about we, but for sure, you know. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good natural stopping point since it's already an hour and 43 minutes into the broadcast. Oh my gosh, we did so much today. But yeah, I hope you guys learned something. And then next week, sometime, we'll announce it in the Discord. I will be back with hopefully another guest or the same one. We don't know yet. We'll see. Of second edition of Building a Bakery with Daniel and Jonan. Woo! Yeah,
and Bread Friend. Next time you have to invite someone actually named Bread, ideally. It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me, Daniel. This is a super fun stream. And I actually am pretty confident that I could build Bread Friend from scratch all by myself, which I did not think we would achieve. Well done, team.
Whoa! Yeah, thanks everyone. See you guys tomorrow. There's live streams like every day here. It's pretty cool. I heard we have some really cool stuff tomorrow. So see you guys tomorrow. I know. Thank you, Shreya. Bye, everyone.
Shreya. See you later.